and welcome back to Classic Times. Today I'll be going through stage 10 of the Cambridge Latin course, and I'll be explaining the topics of comparative adjectives and emphatic pronouns. Okay, let's begin. Comparative adjectives. In stage 8, we were introduced to superlatives, which contain a double consonant and are translated as very or most. Now we meet the comparative, which is another type of adjectives which compares one thing with another. Some examples in English are faster, more happy, or stronger. To form the comparative, you take the normal adjective, add IOR to the end, and then the word quam after it. So an example sentence is Melissa est pulchrior quam Metella. This means Melissa is more beautiful than Metella. Some forms are irregular, such as melior, but the majority follow the rule that we've just gone through. Now let's have a look at some common examples, and this will also be good revision to spot the differences between comparatives and superlatives. So in the left column, I've got the normal adjective, in the middle column there's the comparative form, and in the right column is the superlative form. So longus is the normal adjective for long, longior is longer, and longissimus is longest. Fortis, brave, fortior, braver, fortissimus, bravest. Polka, beautiful, pulchrior, more beautiful, pulcherimus, most beautiful. Notice the pattern. Miser, miserable, miserior, more miserable, miserimus, most miserable. Now these last three rows that are highlighted in yellow are irregular, so the comparative and superlative stems do not coincide with the normal adjective form, so you're just going to have to learn these separately. Bonus is good, melior is better, and optimus is best. Malus, bad, peor is worse, and pessimus is worst. Magnus, big, major, bigger, and maximus is biggest. Now let's have a look at the pronouns we and you, plural forms. So these pronouns in Latin are for emphatic usage, as they are not needed for the sentence to make sense, as the verb endings alone are sufficient. Some examples include nos laboramus, which means we work, but laboramus itself would also mean we work, so the pronoun nos is not needed, it's just there for emphasis. And you, plural run, is vos curritis. And notice below the difference with nos pugnamus and pugnamus. They both mean we fight, but the first one with nos is just emphasis on the person, or in this case the people, doing the verb. Now, finally, before we have a look at some more vocab, let's just go through the complete present tense conjugation of the word some. So some is I am, es is you are, est means he, she or it is, sumus is we are, estis is you plural are, and sunt means they are. Notice the endings are similar to the normal present tense, but instead of ost mustis unt, in this case it's mst mustis unt. Try to learn this conjugation because it's commonly used in Latin. Now let's have a look at some more vocabulary. Abit goes away, accipit accepts, calidus means cunning or clever, contentus satisfied, exclamat exclaims. Frater is a brother. Habitat, lives. Imperium, empire. Invenit, finds. Liber, book. Nos, we. Nuntiat, announces. Pax, peace. Portus is a harbour. Quam means than. Semper, always. Servat, saves. Solus, alone. Sus means his, her, or their. Tacet is silent. Uxor is a wife. Vehementa means violently or loudly. And vos means you, plural. Now let's have a look at a few examples of pronouns. Nos sumus juvenes. We are young men. Vos clamatis. Nos audimus. You plural shout. We hear. Ambulamus, dicimus, videmus. We walk, we say, we see. Notice in this last example how there aren't any pronouns, but this is just to show that pronouns are purely there for emphasis, as the verb endings are sufficient. Now let's have a look at a few examples of comparative adjectives. Nucerini sunt stultiores quam Pompeiani. The Nucerians are more stupid than the Pompeians. Roma est maior quam Nuceria. Rome is bigger than Nuceria. Nos Romani sumus fortiores quam vos Graeci. We Romans are braver than you Greeks. Notice in all of these sentences how the comparative form always has the IOR ending and the word quam. I would now like you to have a go at translating the following sentences. So pause the video and have a go at those. Now let's go through the answers. Nos Romani sumus calidores quam vos Graeci. We Romans are more clever than you Greeks. Tua villa est pulchrior quam mea. Your house is more beautiful than mine. Thrasymachus erat iratior quam Diodorus. Thrasymachus was angrier than Diodorus. So if you got all three of those right, consider yourself a master at the language. If you got two of those right, be content with yourself. That's a great score. If you only got one of those right, don't worry too much, as there were a couple of tricky forms in there. If you didn't get any right, reconsider your options. I'm only joking. Stick with it. Finally, I would like you to have a go at this fill in the gaps exercise. So select a phrase from the box to complete each sentence and then translate. So pause the video and have a go at those. Now let's go through the answers. Firstly, I'll fill in the gaps. A. Controversiam habemus. B. Fabulam agimus. C. Stolas componimus. D. Cibum offerimus. E. Panem paramus. Now let's translate. A. We are Greek teachers. We have debates in the palaestra, or exercise area. B. We are very famous, superlative, actors. We act plays in the theatre. C. We are beautiful slave girls. We arrange dresses for the women. D. We are the cooks. We offer food to the masters. E. We are bakers. We prepare bread for the citizens. Notice how, in sentences C, D, and E, the dative case is used. So this exercise is good revision. Well done if you got all of those right, because those sentences were really tricky. We've now been through stage 10 of the Cambridge Latin course, so let's summarise. Emphatic pronouns. These are used for emphasis and are not strictly needed for the sentence to make sense, as verb endings alone are enough. Comparative adjectives. These are formed by taking the regular adjective and adding IOR to the end, and then the word quam, meaning than. And this rule applies for all comparatives, apart from a few irregulars that we've already met. And these are translated as more something, or a word ending in ER, like quicker or stronger. So join me in my next video, where I'll be explaining stage 11 of the Cambridge Latin course.